Welcome, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Visit our TikTok shop and website. Listen and subscribe to our health and wellness podcast channel at Apple and Spotify. Stay healthy and thank you for watching.
Kakilala. O kahit tayo, meron tayong mga estudyante sa ating bahay, meron tayong mga anak na nag-aaral, kaibigan, kapamilya, lahat po may mga estudyante, no? So our topic for tonight is very important to those students who are going back to school. But before I begin, let me introduce myself. I'm Hannah Cardona, former Admin Officer 5 of FDA Philippines. Ayan, so ating topic is a functional health approach to back to school wellness. Returning to the classroom, success starts with more than school supplies, di ba? It starts with your health. So paano sila makapag-focus? Because during vacation, medyo, yan, yung mga kanilang activities, kanilang hobbies, na iba sa routine. Diba? So, most of the students na ngayon ay, or yung mga nagbakasyon ng mga estudyante ay nag-focus, aminin natin, sa mga gadget, di ba? So, yung mga minsan, ultimo yung kanilang pagkain, hindi na on time. And minsan, kung ano na lang din yung gusto nilang kainin na available dyan. So, tonight, join our doctor as he explore how proper nutrition, immune support, stress resilience, and cellular wellness can help students to stay focused on school, no? And I'm proud to say because today's wellness session is powered by our speaker who brings energy, clarity, and real transformation wherever he goes. He is an international medical graduate, an integrative and lifestyle medicine expert, and one of the most passionate advocates of natural healing today. He has helped countless individuals, families, and communities to take charge of their wellness, and he continued to champion a future where individuals heal naturally, live mindfully, and age with vitality. So prepare to be inspired, energized, and fully engaged because today's session will open your eyes to what your body can truly achieve. So let's give our loudest virtual welcome to one of our very supportive doctor, Christopher Johnson Kuan, or Dr. CJ for short. Hi, Dr. CJ.
Hello. Can you hear me, Ma'am Hannah? Clear, loud and clear.
Loud
Okay.
and clear.
Wow, so napakaganda ng topic po natin ngayon, no? But first and foremost, well, I just want to thank you all for participating in this, our lecture for tonight. Pero let me share my slides first and then I'll proceed with the discussion po, no? Okay, for a while lang po. Okay, so I'll just share my slides. Okay. Nakikita na po ba, Ma'am Hannah? Just let me know kung... Okay. So, yan, ready na po ba tayo? Mga parents, guardians, sabihin na lang natin nag-aalaga ng mga bata. Okay, so, good day, everyone. Okay, so, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. So, my name is Dr. Christopher Johnson Kwan, sa hindi po nakakaalam kung sino po ako. So, just call me Doc CJ. And it is my pleasure to welcome you to our Heart and Health Education lecture entitled Prepared for Learning, a Functional Health Approach to to back to school wellness. Okay, so as our children prepare to return to school, many parents focus on school supplies, uniforms, and academic readiness. While these are important, we often overlook one of the most important foundations of learning. So, ito po yung tinatawag natin our children's health. So, a healthy child learns better, concentrates better, has a stronger immunity, and is more prepared to face the challenges of school life. So kapag malusog ang ating mga anak, mas mataas ang kanilang energy, mas maganda ang kanilang focus sa klase, at mas mababa ang posibilidad na magkakasakit at umabsent sa eskwela. Tama po ba? So tonight, we will discuss practical and science-based strategies from a functional health perspective. So we will talk about how nutrition, sleep, physical activity, stress management, gut health, or even immune support can help children perform better both academically and physically. So ang layunin po natin dito sa Science Forum po natin or lecture po natin ngayon ay hindi lamang para maiwasan ang sipon, upo o iba pang karaniwang sakit sa paaralan, kundi upang matulungan din po natin ang mga magulang na makabuo ng mas malusog na lifestyle para sa buong pamilya. So as parents, guardians, or even caregivers, you play a very important role in shaping your children's health habits. Okay, so the small decisions we make every day, from the food we serve, ano pa po, to bedtime routines, to encouraging active lifestyle sa mga anak po natin, can have a lasting impact on their growth, development, and success in school. Okay, so by the end of this session po, no, I hope you will gain practical knowledge and simple tools that you can immediately apply at home to help your children stay healthy, resilient, and ready to learn. So maraming salamat po sa inyong oras at pakikinig. So I encourage everyone to participate, take notes, or ask questions po mamaya as we work together toward raising healthier and stronger students, pupils, or even our children. So welcome everyone, and let's begin our discussion on back to school wellness. Okay. Okay, so what we will cover is, before we begin, let me briefly explain what we will be covering today and why these topics are so important for every family. Okay, first, we will discuss why school wellness matters. So school is not only a place for learning academics. So it is also where our children interact with classmates, teachers, and their environment every day. So a healthy child is more likely to perform well in school, participate in activities, and enjoy learning. So when health is neglected, frequent illnesses can affect attendance, concentration, and academic performance. So next, we will talk about common infections and how they spread. So children are often exposed to colds, ano pa po, flu, or sore throat, stomach infections, and other contagious illnesses. So understanding how germs spread can help parents and children take simple preventive measures that can significantly reduce the risk of infection. So we will then cover building strong immunity. So paano natin i-enhance yung immunity ng mga anak po natin? So ang ating immune system, ang natural na depensa ng katawan laban sa sakit. So while no supplement or medicine can completely prevent illness, a strong immune system can help children recover faster and stay healthier throughout the school year. So another important topic is hygiene essentials. No? So, simple habits such as proper hand washing, covering coughs and sneezes, keeping personal items clean, and maintaining good personal hygiene can greatly reduce the spread of infection in schools and at home. So we will also discuss the powerful role of nutrition, sleep, and exercise. So these three pillars are often underestimated. So proper nutrition, mamaya discuss po natin kung ano yung pwede natin ipakain para malakas po ang resistance ng mga anak po natin, no? So, like mga proper nutrition that provides our body with the nutrients needed for growth and immunity. Adequate sleep supports brain function. Alam po natin yan. Memory and emotional well-being. Regular physical activity strengthens the body, improves mood, and helps children stay active and focused. So, in today's fast-paced world, we must also address stress management and mental wellness po sa mga students po natin, or even social pressures, no? Or family situations. So, mahalaga na matutunan natin kung paano suportahan ang emotional and mental health ng ating mga anak upang maging mas resilient at confident sila. So another practical topic is knowing when to keep kids home from school. So this is important not only for the recovery of the sick child, but also to prevent the spread of illness to classmates or even teachers. So finally, we will summarize the key takeaways. Simple practical actions that parents can implement immediately to help their children stay healthy, energized, and ready to learn. So at the end of this session, my goal is, of course, for every parent to realize that wellness is not just about avoiding sickness. So it is about creating healthy habits that support learning, growth, what else? Emotional well-being, and long-term success. So kapag malusog ang katawan at isipan ng bata po kasi, mas handa siyang matuto, maggumpay, at maabot ang kanyang buong potential. So thank you, and let's begin. Okay. Epidemiology of school-age illness. So now let us look at why school wellness is such an important public health concern. So according to data from the CDC or Center for Disease Control, upper respiratory infection or common illnesses such as colds, kung inuubo sila or sinisipon, and coughs account for approximately 23 million school days lost every year. So influenza alone is responsible for an additional 38 million school days lost annually. So these numbers show that common infections have a major impact on children's education and daily lives. In addition, studies show that 1 in 5 pediatric patients miss school for 3 or more days each month. So while a few missed days may not seem significant, these absences can accumulate over time and affect learning. So classroom participation and even academic achievement. So research published in JAMA Pediatrics has demonstrated a strong relationship between student health and academic performance. So children who are healthier tend to have better attendance, improved concentration, stronger memory, and better overall school outcomes. So on the other hand, frequent illness can lead to missed lessons, lower test performance, and increased stress for both students and parents. So absenteeism is now recognized as one of the strongest predictors of academic underperformance. So simply put, children learn best when they are present, healthy, and engaged in the classroom. Kaya mahalaga na hindi lamang natin tinuturuan ang ating mga anak ng academics. Kailangan din nating bigyan ng pansin ang kanilang kalusugan, immunity, nutrition, tulog, at mental wellness. So prevention is always better than treatment, sabi nga natin. So the goal of today's discussion is to help you, parents or caregivers, or kung meron man pong yaya po dito, no, na nanonood, this can create healthy habits that can reduce illness or improve school attendance and support better learning outcomes sa mga anak or inaalagaan po natin. So when we invest in our children's health, we are also investing in their education, confidence, and future success. So a healthy child is truly a child who is prepared to learn. Okay. Okay, prevalent school infection. So one of the reasons children frequently miss school is because they are exposed to many common infections while interacting closely with classmates. So mapapansin nyo po, hawa-hawa na po yan sa school. So let us briefly discuss the most common school-related illnesses in simple terms. So kung makikita nyo po dito, may URI, or ito po yung tinatawag natin na upper respiratory infection, such as rhinovirus or RSV. So these are the viruses that commonly cause the common cold. So symptoms include runny nose, sneezing, cough, sore throat, and sometimes mild fever. So children can easily spread these viruses through coughing, sneezing, touching contaminated surfaces, and close contact with others. So pangalawa po is the influenza A and B, or ito po yung tinatawag natin na flu. Okay, so influenza is different from the common cold because it usually causes more severe symptoms such as high fever, body aches, headache, fatigue, cough, or even sore throat. So children with the flu often feel very weak and may need several days of rest at home. The third one is acute gastroenteritis, or yung tinatawag po natin na stomach flu. Okay, so this is an infection of the stomach and intestines that causes diarrhea, vomiting, stomach pain, and sometimes fever. So it is commonly spread through contaminated food sa mga nakakain po, no? That is why pinaalalahanan din po natin kapag once na kumakain po sila sa school, dapat alam din po nila yung mga kinakain, kung malinis po ba or hindi. Such as contaminated ba yung food na kakainin or hindi. Or even contaminated water, no? Dirty hands or shared objects. So one of the biggest concerns is dehydrations due to fluid loss with this problem. Ano pa po yung hand, foot, and mouth? So this viral infection is common among younger children. So it usually causes fever, painful mouth sores, and small rashes or blisters on the hands and feet. So while it is usually mild, it spreads very easily in schools and daycare centers. And then meron din po tayong tinatawag na group A streptococcal or gas, no? Or pharyngitis or strep throat ang tawag po namin. So this is bacterial infection that causes severe sore throat, fever, swollen tonsils, and difficulty swallowing. Unlike viral sore throats, strep throat may require antibiotic treatment as prescribed by a physician to prevent complication. And meron din po tayong tinatawag na infectious conjunctivitis or pink eye, or yung tinatawag po natin na sore eyes, no? So this is an infection or inflammation of the eyes. So symptoms include red eyes, itching, naluluha or tearing, and sometimes yellowish discharge. So it spreads easily through contaminated hands, towels, tissues, or touching the eyes after contact with infected surfaces. So the good news is that many of these infections can be prevented through simple measures such as proper hand washing, or ano pa po, covering coughs or even sneezes, avoiding sharing personal items, getting adequate sleep, eating nutritious foods, and staying home when sick. So tandaan natin, schools are places for learning, but they can also be places where germs spread quickly. So by teaching our children healthy habits early, we can greatly reduce their risk of getting sick and help them stay healthy, active, and ready to learn throughout the school year. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, transmission pathways in school settings. So to better understand why infections spread quickly in schools, let us look at the simple ways germs move from one person to another. So when we understand this, prevention becomes much easier. Okay. So number one po natin, air or droplet transmission. Ito po yung pag-ubo at pagbahing. Okay, so when a child coughs, sneezes, or even talks, tiny droplets come out of the mouth and nose. So some of these droplets are heavy and fall quickly within about 1 to 2 meters, which is why close contact spreads illness easily. However, some are very tiny and can stay in the air for a while. So especially in closed or poorly ventilated classrooms. So this is how viruses like flu and colds can spread from one student to many others. Okay. What else? Paano po natra-transmit ang mga infection? So, number 2 is surface or object transmission or tinatawag po natin na fomites. Okay? Germs can also live on surfaces like tables, okay, chairs, toys, mga laruan, door handles, phones, and notebooks. So for example, a child may touch a contaminated surface and then touch their eyes, nose, or mouth, allowing the virus to enter the body. So some viruses po kasi can survive for hours and other even days, no, on surfaces. So cleanliness is very important. Okay? Pangatlo po is the direct contact transmission. So this happens when there is a direct physical contact between children. So it can be through handshakes or naghahag, sharing food, or even utensils, bottles, or even touching infected skin lesions. So this is very common in illnesses like hand, foot, and mouth disease na kung minsan, or even skin infections like impetigo, yung tinatawag po natin. So dito po kasi sa atin, konti lang po yung nagkakaroon ng hand, foot, and mouth disease. Pero nape-prevent naman po natin yun through hand washing. Okay. Ano pa po? For ventilation or kulog na lugar. No? So, when classrooms or rooms have limited fresh air, circulation, germs stay longer, no? So, in the environment and build up over time. So, this increases the chance that more children will get infected. So, well-ventilated spaces help dilute and remove airborne germs, lowering the risk of spread. So in simple terms, infections in schools spread mainly through air, surfaces, close contact, and enclosed spaces. So halos lahat na po, no? So that is why prevention is not complicated. So it is about breaking these pathways, like to improve the airflow, wash hands properly, avoid sharing personal items, and practice good hygiene. Kapag naiintindihan natin kung paano kumakalat ang sakit, mas madali natin itong mapipigilan. So prevention always starts with awareness and simple daily habits. Okay, next slide. Okay, evidence-based immune optimization. So now let us talk about simple evidence-based ways to strengthen a child's immune system. So the goal here is not complicated treatment, but practical daily habits supported by medical evidence. So usually, pagkapanganak pa lang po natin, nagbibigay na po ang nurse or doctor ng vaccination. So kung makikita niyo po sa ano po natin, sa shoulders po natin, may mga bakuna or immunization marks, no? So one of the strongest protections against serious infections is vaccination. So following the recommended vaccine schedule helps protect children from diseases that can otherwise cause severe illness or complications. For example, the flu vaccine every year is recommended for all children 6 months old and older. So kung yung mahihina po yung immune system, then pwede po silang magpabakuna, lalo na sa mga bata, no? Pero later we will find out kung ano po yung makakatulong po sa atin para increase po natin ang immune system po natin. Okay, so this helps reduce the risk of influenza and its complication. Number 2 is the gut health, or sabi nga natin, healthy tummy equals strong immunity. So a large part of the immune system is actually located in the digestive system or bituka, no? So this means that gut health plays a big role in fighting infections. So healthy bacteria in the gut help protect the body, and in some studies, probiotics may help slightly reduce the number of common colds or respiratory infections. So, a simple takeaway, a healthy diet supports a healthy gut, and a healthy gut supports immunity. Okay? Number 3 is the vitamins and minerals or micronutrients. Okay? Or sinabi ko po dito, it's a micronutrient optimization. So, certain nutrients are important for immune function, especially vitamin D and zinc. So vitamin D helps the immune system respond properly to infection. Yung zinc naman po supports wound healing and helps the body fight viruses and bacteria. That is why medyo familiar po tayo ngayon, yung mga vitamin C, nilalagyan na po ng zinc. Pero usually, ang nangyayari po kasi is synthetic form po sila. Unlike yung sa atin po na we can boost our immune system through naturals. No? So later po I will be discussing on the natural recommendations. Okay? So bakit po natin i-consider ito? Because these nutrients are usually obtained from sunlight exposure and balanced nutrition. But in some children, supplementation may be needed if intake is low. So, what else? Reducing excess sugar intake or yung high sugar foods or glycemic load management. Ang nilagay ko po dito, no? So, too much sugar from sweets, soft drinks, and processed foods can temporarily affect how the immune system works. Okay? Especially after eating. So, this may reduce the body's ability to fight germs for a few hours. So that is why limiting sugary foods and choosing healthier snacks like fruits, nuts, and balanced meal is important for better immunity. So in simple terms, strengthening immunity is not about one single supplement or quick fix. Okay? It is a combination of vaccination, good nutrition, healthy gut, and balanced eating habits. So kapag tama ang bakuna, tama ang pagkain at maayos ang lifestyle, mas handa ang katawan ng baka laban sa infections. So this creates a stronger foundation for fewer sick days and better school performance. Okay. Okay, hand washing and hygiene essential. So now let us focus on one of the simplest but most powerful ways to prevent illness in schools, like proper hygiene and hand washing. So first, the most important habit is proper hand washing. No? According to health guidelines, children should wash their hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Okay? So a simple way to remember this is to sing a short song while washing. So this removes germs that we cannot see but can easily cause illness. Okay, so if soap and water are not available, children can use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Okay, 60% po, no? Dok, hindi po ba pwede ang 40%? Hindi po pwede. Dapat 60% po na alcohol. Okay? So, this is a good alternative. So, especially in school settings. Next is proper cough and sneeze etiquette. So, instead of coughing into hands, children should cough or sneeze into their bent elbow or use a tissue. So, pwede pong ganito. Babahin po sila ng ganito or gagamit po ng tissue. No? So, this help prevent spreading droplets to classmates, desks, and objects. So we also need to remind children to avoid touching their face frequently, especially the eyes, nose, and mouth. So this is one of the easiest ways for germs to enter the body after touching contaminated surfaces. So another important step is cleaning commonly touched objects such as desks, doorknobs, pencils, cell phone, and shared school equipment. So regular cleaning helps reduce the spread of germs in classrooms. So finally, studies show that teaching children proper hand hygiene can reduce school absenteeism by 26% to 50%. So this means that simple habits like hand washing can significantly reduce sickness and missed school days. Okay? So in simple terms, hygiene is not complicated. So it is just consistency in basic habits. So wash hands properly, cover cups correctly, keep hands away from the face, and maintain clean surroundings. No? So kapag natututunan ng mga bata ang mga tamang hygiene, malaking porsyento ng common infections po ay maiiwasan. So this is one of the most effective and affordable ways to keep children healthy and ready for school. Okay, next slide. Clinical nutrition for immune function. Now, let us talk about clinical nutrition and how food directly supports a child's immune system. So in simple terms, food is not just energy. So it is building material for the immune system. Okay. First one, fruits and vegetables or phytonutrients. No? So children should aim for at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day as recommended by the USDA. Pero dito po sa atin, nire-regulate na rin po dito. So these foods contains vitamins like vitamin C, natural plant compounds called flavonoids and carotenoids. No? So in simple terms, these nutrients help strengthen the body's defense cells, especially the white blood cells that fight infection. Examples include, yung mga oranges, guava, apples, carrots, squash, spinach, and leafy greens. Okay. So, pangalawa po is the complex carbohydrates and fiber. Or ito po yung tinatawag natin na healthy gut fuel. No? So, healthy carbohydrates are found in foods like brown rice, oats, corn, sweet potatoes or kamote, and whole grains. So this also contains dietary fiber, which helps feed good bacteria in the gut. That is why kapag nagkakamote po tayo, maganda po ang bacteria sa po natin, intestines, no? Or even in our stomach. And a healthy gut supports a strong immune system because many immune cells are located in the digestive system. No? Certain vitamins like B6 and folate from these foods also help the body produce antibodies, which are proteins that fight infection. Okay. So, ano pa po? Pangatlo, it's the protein. Ano po ba ang protein or amino acid? So, this is the body repair and immune defense ng katawan po natin. Okay, so protein is very important because it is used to build immune cells, antibodies, and healing factors in the body. So school-age children need enough protein daily from foods like fish, chicken, eggs, beans, tofu, and dairy. In simple terms, without enough protein, the body becomes slower in fighting infections and recovering from illness. So healthy fats like omega-3, no, from fish and nuts also help reduce inflammation and support immune balance. Okay, number four, water and hydration. No, so fluid and electrolyte balance. So water is often overlooked. So, but it is very important for immunity. So proper hydration helps keep the nose, the throat, and lungs moist. No, so which acts like a protective barrier against germs. So when a child is dehydrated, this barrier becomes weaker, so making it easier for viruses and bacteria to enter the body. So school-age children generally need around 1.7 to 2.4 liters of fluids per day. Okay, tandaan po natin yun ha. Hanggang 2 litro daw po ng tubig a day. Okay, depending on activity level and climate. So in simple terms, good nutrition for immunity is not complicated. So it is just balance. So more fruits and vegetables, that's for vitamins. More whole grains and fiber, para naman po yun sa gut health or dun sa stomach. Enough protein for, ano po yun, for repair and defense ng katawan ng bata. Enough water for protection and body function. No? So kapag tama ang pagkain ng bata, mas matibay ang kanilang immune system. So mas mabilis silang gumagaling at mas bihira silang magkasakit. So nutrition is truly one of the strongest foundations of school wellness. Okay. Okay. Let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, now let us talk about sleep hygiene. Okay, so which is one of the most important but often overlooked parts of a child's health and immunity. Okay, so sleep is not just rest. So it is the time when the brain develops the immune system, strengthens, and the body repairs itself. Okay, so according to sleep guidelines, ages 3 to 5 years of age, about 10 to 13 hours of sleep dapat na itulog ko nila. Ages 6 to 12 years old, about 9 to 12 hours of sleep. And ages 13 to 18, about 8 to 10 hours of sleep. So these hours are important because children who sleep less than recommended are more prone to infections, poor concentration, mood changes, and fatigue. Okay, so now let us look at simple sleep habits that improve health. No, consistent sleep schedule. So children should sleep and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. So this helps the body's internal clock, or tinatawag po natin na body clock, stay balanced, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up refreshed. No? Pangalawa po, reduce screen time before bed. So it is important to avoid phones, tablets, and TV at least 30 minutes before sleep. So the blue light from screens reduces the release of melatonin, the hormone that helps the body feel sleepy. So this can delay sleep and make children restless at night. That is why kapag nagsa-cellphone po tayo, kapag gabi at habang nakahiga po tayo, hindi tayo inaantok because of the blue light. So the reason why hindi po tayo makatulog dahil nire-reduce po niya yung release of melatonin. No? Ang melatonin po is a sleep hormone po. So that is why i-avoid po natin ang gadgets 30 minutes before po tayo matulog. Okay? So number 3, it's the screen-free bedroom. Okay, so ideally, the bedroom should be a place for sleep only. So according to pediatric guidelines, removing screens from the bedroom helps children sleep faster and better. So number 4, good sleep environment. So a healthy sleep environment means a cool room temperature, which is comfortable po ang bata, not too hot or not too cold. So a dark room with minimal light, a quiet environment with less noise. This condition help the brain relax and improve sleep quality. So in simple terms, good sleep means enough hours, consistent timing, less screen exposure, and a calm sleeping environment. So kapag sapat at maayos ang tulog ng bata, mas malakas po kasi ang immune system. So mas maganda ang focus sa school at mas stable ang mood at behavior. So sleep is truly a natural medicine for growing children. Okay. Okay, the physical activity guidelines. Okay, now let us talk about physical activity and movement. So which are very important for a child's immune system, growth, and overall school performance. So according to the World Health Organization and AAP guidelines, so children should have at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity every day. Okay. So this does not mean structured sports only. So it can include running, playing outside, cycling, dancing, or active games. So the key idea is to keep the body moving and active. So in addition, muscle and bone strengthening activities should be done at least 3 times per week. So these include activities like jumping, climbing, push-ups, or sports like basketball or gymnastics. So this help build stronger bones, better posture, and overall physical resilience. So another important benefit of outdoor activity is the vitamin D production. So when children are exposed to sunlight, especially around midday for about 10 to 15 minutes, the skin naturally produces vitamin D. So this vitamin is important for immune strength and bone health. So simple and safe sun exposure can already make a big difference. No? So physical activity also improves heart and immune function. So regular exercise or physical activity helps improve blood circulation as well and strengthens immune cells that fight infection. So this is why active children often get sick less frequently and recover faster. So on the other hand, too much sitting or screen time can negatively affect health. So the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends limiting recreational screen time to 1 to 2 hours per day. So prolonged sitting and inactivity may weaken immune response and affect overall metabolism. That is why ang dami na pong matataba na bata ngayon kasi wala na pong physical activity para palagi na lang pong nakatutok sa screen, cellphone or tablet or even computer, no? So, in simple terms, movement is medicine for children. So when they are active, their body becomes stronger, their immunity improves, and their brain functions better for learning. So kapag ang bata ay active, mas healthy siya. So mas alert din po sa klase at mas protected laban sa sakit. So encouraging daily physical activity is one of the most powerful habits we can build for lifelong wellness. Okay. Next one is the psychosocial wellness and resilience. So, okay. Or simply, this is the emotional and mental health of children. Okay, this is just as important as physical health because the mind and body are deeply connected. Okay. Number 1, listening and emotional support. So children need a safe space where they feel heard and understood. So when adults practice active listening, meaning we truly pay attention and validate their feelings. So children become more emotionally secure and confident. So in simple terms, when a child feels heard, they feel safer and less stressed. Okay. Number two, breathing and relaxation techniques. No? Simple techniques like slow breathing or deep belly breathing can help calm the body and mind. So these practices reduce stress or even stress hormones, no? And help children feel more relaxed, especially during exams or stressful situations. Even a few minutes a day can help reset their emotions. What else? Daily routine and structure. No? So children feel more secure when they know what to expect each day. So a consistent routine for sleep, meals, study, and play helps reduce anxiety and improves focus and behavior. So in simple terms, predictable routines help children feel organized and less overwhelmed. What else? Peer social support or friendships or even social connection. No? So positive relationships with classmates and friends are very important. So social support helps protect children from anxiety and depression and improves emotional strength. So children who feel connected to others are generally happier and more resilient. Okay, what else? The activity load management. So balance activities and rest. So while activities like schoolwork, tutoring, and sports are important, too much pressure or overscheduling can cause stress and fatigue. So children also need free time for play, rest, and creativity. So this unstructured play helps the brain develop, improves imagination, and reduces stress. What else? Early identification of emotional concern. So it is important for parents and teachers to notice early signs of emotional difficulties such as persistent sadness, anxiety, or behavior changes. No? So, sa school po kasi may mga screening tools, no? So, usually ine-evaluate po ang mga bata ngayon for depression, and then i-report po sa mga magulang, no? So, this can help identify when a child may need additional support. Early help leads to better outcomes. So in simple terms, psychosocial wellness means helping children feel emotionally safe, supported, and balanced. So kapag maayos ang emotional health ng bata, mas maganda ang focus nila sa school, mas stable ang kanilang behavior, at mas malakas ang kanilang resilience sa challenges ng buhay. So, a healthy mind is just as important as a healthy body. Okay. So, next slide. Okay. So, paano po ba natin hindi papapasukin ang anak natin or papapasukin po natin sa school? Okay, so now let us talk about a very practical and important topic. So when a child should stay home from school and when it is safe to attend. So this helps protect not only your child, but also other students and teachers. So when a child should not go, kung hindi po dapat natin papasukin to school, exclude po natin siya from school. So a child should stay at home if they have any of the following. Okay. A fever of 38 degrees centigrade or Celsius or higher than 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, especially if they are still feverish without fever-reducing medicine. And then kapag nagkakaroon na po ng vomiting or diarrhea within the last 24 hours, severe cough with thick or yellow-green phlegm, especially if infection is suspected, red eyes with thick yellow discharge until properly treated for at least 24 hours, unexplained skin rash or exanthem, ang tawag po natin doon sa medical, no? Especially if infection is suspected, or 2 week, dehydrated or unable to do normal daily activities. So in simple terms, if the child looks sick, weak, or contagious, it is safer to keep them at home. Okay. So maliwanag po yun, no? Okay. So when a child can go to school, so usually, yun po, papapasukin po natin kung meron po itong mga symptoms na to. No? So a child is generally safe to attend school if they are fever-free for at least 24 hours. So that's below 38 degrees centigrade without fever medicine. So they have a mild runny nose but no fever or body weakness. They have a dry or mild cough but are breathing comfortably. So hindi po sila nahihirapang huminga. They have allergies like allergic rhinitis. Pwede naman po yun na pumasok. Pero wag lang pong infection. No? And they are active, alert, eating and drinking well and behaving normally. So they have completed at least 24 hours of proper treatment if prescribed antibiotics. So meron lang po tayong simple rule to remember. So para to sum it up po ito, no? If a child is feverish or parang nilalagnat siya, nagbabamit or nagsusuka, contagious or too weak, stay po natin siya sa bahay. Okay? So if a child naman po ay active, improving and wala po siyang lagnat, safe po siya pumunta sa school. So kapag tama ang decision kung kailan papasok o hindi papasok ang bata, na-protect natin hindi lang ang kanilang recovery, kundi pati ang buong classroom community. So this is a key part of school wellness and infection prevention. Okay, so konti na lang po ito. Okay, let's proceed with the non-cell spirulina, equisy, and berry ora. So as parents and guardians, we always want our children to be healthy. So magpapasokan na po this Monday, no? What else? Focus and ready for school every day. So not just academically, but physically and emotionally as well. So that's why we have the NanoCell 3-in-1 wellness support system. Okay, this is the NanoCell spirulina that supports growth, strength, and natural energy, the equisy, that helps strengthen the immunity and daily protection against illness, and the berry ora. This provides powerful antioxidants for brain support, focus, and overall wellness. So, why these nutrients matter, Doc? No? Baka itanong niyo po sa akin. So, think of the body like a house, no? Parang bahay. So, spirulina provides the building materials. So, yun po yung protein, vitamins, and minerals. Yung equisy naman po, it helps repair and strengthen the structure. Ito po yung sinusupport niya yung collagen, immunity, saka yung healing. And then the berry ora acts like a protective shield, helping guard the body's cells from damage and supporting healthy digestion and brain function. Okay. So these FDA-registered supplements are intended to help support daily nutrition, immunity, what else? Growth, and overall wellness when combined with a balanced diet, adequate sleep, regular exercise, and proper hydration. So together, these three work as a daily nutritional foundation to help children stay active, resilient, and ready to learn. So when kids are well nourished from the inside, they are more prepared to learn better, focus longer, and thrive in school and life. Okay. So NanoCell, it's helping every child be ready, not just for school, but for success. Okay. Next slide. Okay, nature's superfood is spirulina, as we all know po, no? Spirulina is a nutrient-rich superfood that can help support proper nutrition in a simple and affordable way. So it contains high-quality protein, iron, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that the body needs for growth, energy, and overall health. So, Doc, paano niya tinutulungan yung katawan, no? How it helps the body. So, it supports healthy growth and development in children dahil yun po yung topic po natin ngayon, no? So, it helps maintain energy levels and reduce tiredness. It provides a protein needed for muscle building and repair. It supports healthy blood production, no? Through its iron content and helps strengthen the immune system. So it provides antioxidants as well that help protect the body's cells. So, example, Doc, magbigay po na po kayo ng example. Okay, so, well, a child who is picky eater, no? Or someone with an unbalanced diet may not get enough nutrients from food alone. So spirulina can help supplement important nutrients needed for daily growth and wellness. So did you know that the fun fact, spirulina is a type of a blue-green algae, no? That has existed on Earth for billions of years. Because of its impressive nutrient profile, it is often called a superfood, no? And has been recognized worldwide as a valuable nutritional supplement. Okay, so think of spirulina as a natural nutrition booster. So just as a plant needs good soil, no, and nutrients to grow strong, so our bodies need vitamins, minerals, protein, and antioxidants to stay healthy. So spirulina provides many of these nutrients in a small amount, making it a convenient way to support overall health or even nutrition. Okay. Next slide. So, most nutrients for the least cost, no? So, why spirulina is considered nature's superfood? So, just 12 tablets of spirulina per day can provide your body with a remarkable concentration of vitamins, minerals, protein, and antioxidants. Because spirulina is highly nutrient dense, a small daily serving can help supplement many essential nutrients needed for overall health and wellness. So, amazing spirulina nutrients comparisons according to product information and our nutritional comparisons. No? So the nutrients found in 12 tablets of spirulina are comparable to obtaining nutrients from approximately 1 kilogram of mixed fruits and vegetables. So it contains about 3 times more calcium and vitamin E than whole milk, no? Helping support strong bones, teeth, muscles, or even healthy skin. So our spirulina contains up to 48 times more iron than spinach, helping support healthy blood production, no? Oxygen transport, and energy levels. What else? It contains antioxidant activity reported to be up to 3,500 times greater than vitamin C alone. So helping protect cells from oxidative stress and environmental toxins. Ano pa po? Ang dami pala, no? Ng benefits ng spirulina. It contains also approximately 9 times more potassium than many vegetables, supporting heart health, nerve function, hydration, and muscle performance because of the potassium levels. And it contains up to 6 times more vitamin B12 than beef liver. So it helps support healthy nerves, brain function, and red blood cell formation. So what else? It contains up to 500 times more beta-carotene than apples or even carrots, no? Supporting healthy eyesight, skin, and immune defenses. And it contains up to 15 times more vitamin B1 or thiamine than sardines. So it helps convert food into energy and supporting the nervous system as well. So it contains, what else? Ito po. Sabi dito, 9 times more vitamin B3 or the niacin, no? Than lemons. By supporting metabolism, circulation, and healthy skin, no? And it contains up to 45 times more vitamin B12 than strawberries. So it contributing to energy production and healthy nerve function. So while spirulina should not replace a balanced diet, it serves as an excellent nutritional supplement that helps fill nutritional gaps and supports overall wellness for children, adults, and seniors alike. In short, spirulina packs the nutritional benefits of many different food into a convenient daily serving, making it one of the most nutrient-dense superfoods available. Okay. So did you know spirulina and the Chernobyl? So after the Chernobyl nuclear disaster in 1986, some reports and small-scale programs look into nutritional support strategies for affected populations. So especially children exposed to contaminated food and environments. So one of the substances studied in research settings was spirulina because it contains chlorophyll and antioxidants. What else? Protein and micronutrients and compounds that may help support general detoxification pathways in the body. So I just need to give important clarification now. Spirulina was not a cure for radiation poisoning. It was not an official medical treatment for radiation exposure because some studies and programs explored it as a supportive nutritional supplement, no? Not a therapy that removes radiation from the body. So think of it like this. So spirulina was looked at as a nutritional support food to help improve general health and immunity in people living under difficult conditions. So, not as a medicine that treats radiation damage, no? So why people associate spirulina with this story, no? Because spirulina is rich in antioxidants, no? It helps protect cells from damage, from the Chernobyl, no? Nutrients that support immunity and natural pigments like chlorophyll often linked to detox discussion. So it became widely discussed in wellness communities, no? Itong spirulina. And over time, the story was amplified in health marketing, sometimes beyond what scientific evidence directly confirms. Okay. Okay, I'll proceed to the next slide. So not all spirulina brands are equal. So why not all spirulina brands are equal? So not all spirulina products are the same because quality depends on purity, kung saan siya sinurse, kung clean water ba, etc. Okay. What else? Nutrient concentration, processing method, proper drying and storage. That's why Ma'am Hana, dito siya to discuss about our FDA licenses, no? So, mas maganda ang high quality spirulina dahil mas mataas ang nutrients at mas safe gamitin. Katulad ng non-cell products po natin. Okay. So, it contains chlorophyll, no? So, we call this the green pigment in plants, no? Ang chlorophyll. So what it is? So chlorophyll is the green pigment in plants that helps them convert sunlight into energy. We call that photosynthesis, no? So the benefits of this chlorophyll supports the natural detox functions of the body. It helps improve bowel movement and digestion. What else? It supports immune system health. May help improve blood quality and oxygen support. So, there's a simple idea. Parang cleaning agent siya ng plants and supports body cleansing function. Okay. Our spirulina contains also red carotenoids, or we call this protective plant pigments. No? It includes beta-carotene, lutein, zeaxanthin, lycopene, astaxanthin, etc. Okay. So the benefits of the red carotenoids is it is a powerful antioxidant that protects cells. It supports healthy skin and anti-aging. It helps eye health and vision wellness, or even supports heart and joint wellness. So think of it like shield ng cells against damage. So, well, I'm reading about this, no? Meron lang po akong trivia, no? Ang carrots daw po ay equal to orange because of the beta-carotene, no? The tomatoes also nagiging red because of the lycopene, no? And the leafy greens rich in lutein for eye health. That is why we have these carotenoids na galing sa mga plants to help our body na tulungan yung immune response din po natin. Okay, we have also phycocyanin, which is the unique spirulina blue pigment. So what it is, no? Phycocyanin is the blue pigment unique to spirulina. So the benefits of this is anti-inflammatory support, or it helps also to reduce body stress response, powerful antioxidant action, it supports tissue repair and recovery, and it helps support immune balance. So, simple idea of this is parang repair support system siya ng katawan. Okay? So, this is what gives spirulina its blue-green color because green is from the chlorophyll and the blue is from the phycocyanin. Okay, remember that. Okay. The yellow carotenoids. Okay. Yellow carotenoids or the vitamin A source. Okay. What they are. So plant pigments that can be converted into vitamin A. Okay. So the benefits of this is it supports healthy eyesight, no? It strengthens immune system. It helps skin health and cell growth. It supports normal development. So we all know that vitamin A is equals to vision plus immunity vitamin. So there is a certain trivia about this that vitamin A deficiency can lead to night blindness. Kaya important ang carotenoids. Okay? So I'll proceed to the next slide. Okay, we have FVC. No? Okay, wellness made simple. So equisi is a natural vitamin C from Camu Camu berry in a chewable tablet form for kids that's 3 years old to adults. Okay, so its benefits is boost immunity, it helps protect the body from colds and infections. It gives also energy support that helps reduce tiredness. It helps wound healing. It supports faster repair of skin and tissues and improves iron absorption. So it helps prevent weakness and fatigue. What else? It supports skin and collagen. So good for skin, gums, and joints. And it's gentle on stomach. So it is safe also for daily use. Okay. So Camu Camu is a superfruit, no? It's very rich in vitamin C. So mas potent than common fruits like oranges. So I have trivia also about Camu Camu. So did you know that Camu Camu grows in the Amazon rainforest? So one of the richest natural sources of vitamin C in the world, no? So that is why the equisi is equal to the natural vitamin C support for immunity, energy, healing, and overall wellness. Okay. So why vitamin C is essential? So vitamin C is a key nutrient that helps the body stay strong and healthy. So its main benefits is it boosts the immunity, no? It helps fight infections. What else? Antioxidants that protects cells from damage, no? Supports collagen, so good for skin, joints, and wound healing, and it helps iron absorption. So it reduces fatigue and weakness. So not all vitamin C is the same. So as we all know, we have synthetic vitamin C or ascorbic acid, no? So these were made in labs, no natural plant cofactors, and may be less well absorbed in some people. and it can sometimes cause stomach upset. So, unlike our natural vitamin C from fruits like camu-camu, it contains natural cofactors and it gentler and more complete support. Okay. So in simple summary, vitamin C is equal to immunity, skin repair, energy, and iron support. So natural sources are generally more complete and gentle for the body. Okay. So why your body will love equisy? Okay, so equisy is a natural vitamin C support from camu-camu that helps the body stay strong, energized, and protected. So it helps boost the immunity. So the body can fight infections like colds. It supports healthy, glowing skin and collagen repair. It helps reduce fatigue and improves daily energy. It protects cells from damage and supports healthy aging, supports circulation and overall heart wellness, and helps faster recovery from common illnesses. So equisy helps the body stay strong, energized, and well protected every day. Okay. Okay. Live life in full bloom with Berry Aura. This is my last PowerPoint discussion. So the Berry Aura is a natural antioxidant supplement made from different berry extracts na rich sa plant nutrients. So what it does for the body? So it supports brain health, it helps focus, memory, and mental clarity. It improves digestion as well. It supports healthy gut, yung diniscuss po natin kanina, and better nutrient absorption. It fights stress effects, no? It helps protect cells from damage caused by stress, pollution, and even unhealthy lifestyle. Or even it's rich in antioxidants because it's high ORAC value. So it helps slow down cell aging and supports overall wellness. So ORAC means antioxidant power. Okay? So mas mataas ang ORAC, mas strong ang protection ng cells against damage. So in short summary, berry ORAC is equal to brain support, better digestion, and protection from stress damage. Okay. Okay, berry oil is a nature's finest ingredient. So, as we all know, dinidiscuss namin ni Dr. Ariel yung before, yung isa-isa nitong mga content na to. No? So, as you can see, there is an acerola cherry, okay? So, it's super high vitamin C. It helps immunity plus skin repair. That is why maganda po ang berry orak po natin for skin. Ang berry orak po natin may camu-camu din. It's very strong immune booster plus anti-fatigue. Kaya kapag nagtitake po tayo ng berry orak, hindi po tayo madaling mapagod. We have acai berry. It supports energy, brain, and anti-aging din po siya, no? Jaboticaba, which is rich in polyphenols for cell protection. Okay, lingonberry. Usually, ang lingonberry po kasi, it helps you for urinary health. And it will act as anti-inflammatory as well. Kaya kapag nag-take po tayo ng berry ora, kaya dinidiscuss po namin palagi na it can help din yung may mga arthritis because of the lingonberry, yung berry ora po natin. We have also noni fruit that supports immune system and body repair as well, no? We have mangosteen. So, it's a strong anti-inflammatory substance, no? Plus, pinapaganda rin po niya yung skin. And grapeseed, meron din po, it improves circulation and heart protection. What else? Resveratrol. So, anti-aging or even heart plus cellular protection. And astaxanthin, no? It's a powerful antioxidant for skin glow, eyes, and fatigue. That is why kapag tinanong po tayo, kapag ano po yung content ng berry orac na it makes our skin glow, it's the astaxanthin. Okay? So, ang berry orac is a powerful antioxidant because blend siya ng fruits plus plant extracts. So, sabi ko nga po kanina, inisa-isa ko yung mga functions ng mga berries na naka-incorporate ko dito. So, well, its main action is laban sa oxidative stress, no? For the cell damage, it helps the immune system become stronger. It supports also anti-aging for the skin, energy, and brain. It improves also circulation at overall vitality. Parang shield ng katawan. So sabi ko kanina, parang shield siya ng katawan laban sa stress, pollution, at aging process. Okay. So why this trio works for students, no? Ang combination ng spirulina plus equisy and berry ora is like a daily nutrition support pack for students. Kasi nga magpapasukan ko ngayon. So it has the brain support like spirulina plus berry ora help improve focus, memory, at protection ng brain cells, no? We have growth support. Spirulina protein plus vitamin C from equisy helps sa tissue repair and development. What else? Immunity. The equisy plus spirulina boosts resistance versus colds, infection, and fatigue. And digestion and absorption. No? Berry ora helps improve nutrient absorption and gut health. And energy and recovery. It helps reduce yung pagod, stress, and supports faster recovery. So parang complete daily support para sa mga estudyante po natin and para din po sa atin for our brain immunity, growth, at energy in one routine. Okay. What prepared students look like? Okay. Ang prepared students ay yung mga ready physically, mentally, at emotionally sa school araw-araw. So, pumapasok regularly, no? Hindi madaling mag-absent dahil strong ang katawan. Active sa class, so nakakasabay at nakakapag-participate sa lessons, may stable energy, hindi mabilis mapagod or antukin. Kaya, kumbaga, kaya din niyang mag-handle ng stress. So, diniscuss po natin about psychosocial concerns kanina. So, mas calm kahit may exams or deadlines and focus sa learning. Mas attentive at interested sa school. So, kapag healthy ang body at mind ng estudyante po natin, mas ready siya mag-aral, mas productive, at mas successful sa school. Okay, so prepare them for more than school. So ang backpack kaya magdala ng books, no? Pero ang healthy body at strong mind ang nagdadala ng pangarap ng isang bata. So bilang parents, guardian, caregivers, gusto natin simple lang. Dapat hindi sakitin ang ating mga anak, no? Or ating mga inaalagaan bata. May energy pumasok araw-araw kung kaya mag-focus at matuto, lumalaban sa stress at pagod. Dahil ang tunay na preparation ng bata hindi lang grades, no? Kundi lakas ng katawan, tibay ng loob, at clarity ng isip. Okay. Sa tulong ng spirulina, equisy, at berry ora, we support their immunity. So para hindi madaling magkasakit, brain focus para mas malinaw mag-isip at matuto sa school, no? Energy and recovery para hindi madaling mapagod, resilience para kaya ang daily challenges ng school at life. Okay. So, well, now to close this section, let us summarize everything in a very simple and practical way, no? All the strategies we discussed today, the proper hand washing, good nutrition, and enough sleep are not just basic habits. So these are proven ways to prevent illness and significantly reduce school absences. So when children follow the recommended vaccination schedule and regularly visit their doctor for well-child checkups, we are able to prevent many serious and common childhood illnesses before they even start. So these preventive visits are a key foundation of long-term child health. Okay, so we also learned that a child's health is not only physical, no? Emotional well-being, behavior, sleep, activity level, and overall development should also be checked regularly. So when we look at the child as a whole, the body, mind, and behavior, so we are able to support them better in school and in life. So most importantly, when parents and families are actively involved in building healthy habits at home, children benefit greatly. So they attend school more regularly, perform better academically, and develop stronger long-term health awareness. So kapag buo ang suporta ng pamilya at tamang preventive care, mas nagiging healthy, confident, at ready to learn ang bata. So hindi lang sa school kundi sa buong buhay nila. So what we covered today is not just information. So it is a practical guide that can be applied every single day at home and in school. So from hygiene and nutrition to sleep, palagi namin sinasabi ni Dr. Ariel, physical activity, mental wellness, and knowing when to stay home. These are simple steps, but they create a powerful impact on a child's health and learning. So to our parents who are listening right now, your role is truly central. No, you are the first teachers of health habits. So the choices you make at home, what food is prepared, how bedtime is managed, how emotions are supported, this shape your child's immunity, focus, and resilience. To our students, kung may mga nakikinig po ngayon, your participation also matters. Learning how to wash your hands properly, no? Getting enough sleep. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Hana kanina, yung palaging nagse-cellphone or naglalaptop kapag kapag oras na ng pagtulog. What else? Eating healthy food, staying active, and speaking up when you feel unwell are all part of becoming responsible and healthy learners. So, school wellness is shared responsibility. No, it is not only the school's job and not only the doctor's job. So, it is a partnership between family, students, and the community working together. So, if we apply even a few of these habits consistently, we can reduce illness, improve attendance, and help children perform better academically while feeling better physically and emotionally. So let us remember, a healthy child is a better learner, a more confident individual, and a stronger future adult. So thank you once again for your time, your attention, and your commitment to your children's health and future. So let us continue working together in building a healthier, more prepared generation starting today. That's it for now. Thank you very much, Paul.
Ayan, thank you so much, Doc CJ and dear partners. Let us give our loudest virtual clap to Doc CJ, no? Doc, thank you so much. Napakaganda ng topic natin ngayong gabi, no? Kasi everyone of us na nandito sa Zoom natin, and of course, yung mga nakikinig sa atin dyan live sa Facebook. Of course, meron tayong anak na nag-aaral, o di kaya may kaibigan tayo, may mag-anak tayo na merong mga anak na nag-aaral. And this coming Monday. So, ito yung first school day. Ulit, back to school ng mga kabataan, no? After a long period ng vacation. So, everyone, maraming salamat po. And napakaganda ng topic natin. Marami tayong natutunan ngayong gabi on how to provide our kids a proper nutrients. At the same time, on how we can maintain their immune system, maging healthy, maging focus sa school. Kasi di ba once na nasa school na sila, ayan yung kanilang pangalawang bahay na tinatawag. So, kailangan yung mga anak natin ready na umattend sa school, makinig, matuto. And of course, sabi nga ni Doc CJ kanina, para maging focus ang ating mga anak, dapat magkaroon sila ng healthy mind, alert mind, healthy body, para in order to support kung ano yung dapat nilang ma-acquire o matutunan sa school. Kasi imagine, ito nga yung sinasabi, di ba yung mga bata na malnourished and doesn't have enough nutrients sa body nila. Di ba pagpasok para silang, ito yung tinatawag na may commercial nila, tuta yung bata dahil unang-una pagpasok sa school, hindi maka-adapt kasi hindi makapag-focus. Hindi makapag-focus because of not enough nutrients kasi inaantok. So, yung mga nalaman na tutunan namin ngayon, Doc CJ, is malaking bagay, no? Kung paano natin mabigyan ng tamang nutrients o support ang ating mga kids this coming school days or Monday. Ayan. And at the same time, sabi nga nila, if we are giving the proper nutrients to our kids, so dapat bigyan din natin ng gabay yung mga bata natin upang maiwasan nila yung magkasakit. So sabi ng Doc CJ, maintain a good, ayan yung sinasabing dapat immunization, no? Kung kailangan natin ipabaksin yung mga anak natin at i-maintain yung vaccine na yun na makakatulong din to boost their immune system, go for it. Monitor our kids, not too much gadget, no? And at the same time, i-monitor yung pagtulog. Kasi ngayon, this time yung mga bata, no? Kundi cellphone, tablet, laptop, computer yung hawak nila. So, ito yung mga expose yung mga anak natin sa radiation na hindi natin alam nakakapit na sa kanilang katawan. And provide our kids a proper nutrients, no? In order para makatulong sa kanilang immunity to support their immune system. Ayan. So, taking spirulina, FEC, Periora, ayan. Makakatulong ito sa kanila. Okay. Sandali lang po. May kumakatok sa bahay. Ayan po, dear fathers. Baka may mga meron kayong questions or katanungan. You can pin your questions sa ating chat box and we'll attend to your questions po, no? Ayan. So sabi nga natin, all supplements are created equal kasi like supplements na spirulina, marami sa market ngayon. Pero yun nga po as our advice, check always the label kung saan galing, at the same time ano yung content, and kung gaano ka-pure yung spirulina. Kasi ang spirulina, dapat hindi siya matigas. So pag matigas, maraming binder or extenders. So ayan, ayan Doc CJ. We're now open for our question and answer. You can type in your questions po para masagot po natin kung may mga katanungan pa sila.
Ayun, may nakikita akong question, Ma'am Hana, no? So, from Sir Victor, so I would like to ask how ideal dosage for its supplements is recommended for kids for immune support. Well, actually, Sir Victor, no, typically, in terms of our equity, it's like candy po kasi yun. So, it's parang kakainin lang ng bata. So, ang problem with typical chewable vitamin C kasi sa labas na pino-formulate, sir, is well, it's ascorbic acid. Unlike sa atin po na more on natural. So, the maximum amount po is at least at mga 15 tablets po a day for a child. The problem po kasi, it's yung dun sa absorption. Okay? Kung depende rin sa ilang taon, usually mga 6 years old, pwede pong at least mga 6 tablets ng equity po natin. Kasi may nabalitaan din po ako na nasarapan yung bata sa isang bote, kinain po niya lahat for I think a span of 1 hour or 1 to 2 hours, ilang tablets po yun. And then, wala naman pong naging problem because yung ano lang po natin, yung equity po kasi natin, usually, it can be directly absorbed sa bloodstream. Pero wala din, hindi po, just what I discussed a while ago, na hindi po siya nagkukos ng stomach upset. So, there will be no problem because the ascorbic acid ano po natin, in our equity product, i-absorb lang sa body, and then yung kung may excess man po, imimicturate lang or urinate po ng bata. In terms of berry orac po, I will just recommend one sachet po, no? So it's sublingual. So definitely kung hindi po kaya ng bata or mga estudyante po ng sublingual, pwede po nating timplahin. Pero we recommend it under the tongue. And then dun sa spirulina po, 5 to 12 tablets po ang pwede po sa mga bata. So that's there will be no side effects naman po kasi it's natural. Palagi namin sinasabi din ni Dr. Ariel na we should maximize kasi supplement po siya, no? Or more on mega dosing. Pero typically, ang concerns po kasi is nakadepende kung ilang taon po yung bata. So, usually mga 6, 7, and 8, at least mga 5 to 10 tablets lang po ng spirulina. Pero kapag more than 10 years old, pwede na po hanggang 12 tablets po. That's the ideal dosage po, Sir Victor. Okay, is there any questions po po?
Hello, Doc. There's another question here. Good PM po. Doc, ano po ang recommended dosage sa mga senior na may gout?
Okay. Well, we recommend po at least 12 tablets daily po, no? Palagi ko pong sinasabi ito, I've asked Dr. Sheila about taking spirulina tablets kasi is there a maximum, sabi ko. Sa kanya, nasabi po niya sa akin dati, she takes 60 tablets daily, spirulina tablets, and wala pong naging problem. Para kay Ma'am Teresita, usually okay na po ang 12 tablets daily po ng spirulina, ma'am, to address po yung gout. Pero dun sa gout po kasi, we need to assess kung talagang elevated po ang uric acid, so we will limit also yung purine intake nyo po, no? So kung baka nakakakain po tayo ng food na rich in purine, so ipapalimit din lang po natin yun. Pero if you have laboratories po, then you can send us and then we will give you free programs po, nanocell protocols po, enable for us to check your data po, especially your diagnostic results po. So, just send us po yung laboratory results, then we can reply back naman po with your designated protocol. Apo. Thank you po.
Thanks, Doc. Doc, although hindi na-discuss kanina, how about carbacrol?
Well, carbacrol, it's a good choice, sir, because it's anti-inflammatory, no? It's from oregano. Typically, we recommend that 3 times, no? 3 times a day para for gout talaga. Pero maganda rin kasi ang blue gluta po natin with gout. Kasi, may mga synergistic component po kasi like yung mga collagen na naka-incorporate to help also yung mga joints para matulungan din natin sila. And sabi ko nga din kanina, it has an anti-inflammatory effect kapag once na take na po natin yung mga supplements po natin. Well, carbacrol, sir, then it's a good choice for anti-inflammatory. Pero in a way, kailangan din natin kasi i-synergize with other supplements like glutathione kasi meron siyang effects din na tutulong kung may mga issues na po sa joints or even arthritic concerns, gout, etc.
All right. Again, Doc, very fantastic presentation today. Guys, come on, let's give our appreciation again for Doc CJ. Grabe, Doc. Very, very informative and very timely po yung topic. Back to school na po. And lahat tayo, even all parents here, we want to make sure that our children are safe and healthy and always have the advantage. And again, any last message, Doc, before we end this live?
Oh, well, like what I've told you a while ago with my ano po, no, discussions, well, we need as much as possible to well, nawalan na ako parang nagkulang na ako ng glucose sa brain. Pero typically, my last message is more on ano lang po. First, we need to assess our children sa mga pupunta po ng sa school or even us, parents or caregivers na maging handa. Especially nowadays po na prevalent po ang conditions like flu, colds, coughs. That's why we discuss this. Sabi nga natin sa earlier na timely po ito for us to educate parents or even some of our members na matulungan din natin how to prepare yung kanilang mga anak para healthy at maging okay po once na nag-start na po ang school year. So definitely, ang sa akin lang is dahil sa atin na pwedeng tumulong po sa kanila even in our health talks like this, nag-guide po natin sila what to do and kung ano po yung pwedeng gawin just in case man na nagkakaroon po ng health concerns. So, ang sa akin lang, we will pray na sana maging okay ang school year na to with our children, na sana walang well, may mga kumakalat na naman na virus ngayon. So, ang sa akin lang is that's why we are here to help them, to teach them and how to give them some advices para matulungan din po yung sarili natin as parents and matulungan din po yung mga anak po natin. Yan po, sir.
Thank you, Doc. And again, yeah, say thank you, Doc. All right, thank you, everybody. And again, God bless everybody. Always take care also, wherever you are, no? Bring NanoCell with you. God bless everybody. And
thank you, Dr. Ariel Myra.
And also thank you to Dr. Ariel. Thank you, everybody. See you all soon. God bless you all and go with God. Bye-bye.